Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. Here is the SketchUp Arc Studio. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about new version of Enscape 4.18 and how we can create super realistic render from this bathroom design. So without wasting any time, let's get to work and jump into it. First of all, I'm going to maximize Enscape. Everything is on the default setting. I didn't change anything. And you can see these objects and assets which I downloaded from the Enscape assets library. So in here we have some hand wash place, and also in here we have some decorative console. Here is the bathtub, and also this one's the toilet. So in here we have the interior door design, and also in here we have some marble wall like this. So I'm going to select this angle for my rendering, and I want to create some render from this side. So I'm going to fix my camera at first step. So I need to click on the view management in here and click on the create view, and also I'm going to unlink presets from it, and I want to rename it as the bathroom rendering number one. I'm going to type 1, and also I'm going to press space on my keyboard, and now I'm in the fly mode. Fly mode allows me to get down, get upside like this, but when you're on the walk mode, you can't do this work with Q and E on the keyboard. So I'm going to switch it on the fly mode, and I want to select it like this. Before we do anything, you can turn on the save frame, and save frame helps you to see what will go on exactly in your framing in this project. I'm going to zoom out a little bit with the S on my keyboard. I'm going to go backward. The pitch is about 0, and the Y is about 180. The X is about, I think 2 is enough. The Y is your eye height, so 1.28, it means that your eye height is 1.28 meter. So I'm going to type 1.4 or maybe 5. And you know, the normal and super default number is 1.6. So you can use them, it depends on you. And the Z is about negative 5.6. Okay. We have some options about the sum position, but I don't want to use it, so I'm going to uncheck Save Enscape Sum Position, and I'm going to click on the Create in here. Okay, I'm going to click on the bathroom rendering number 1. This scene will be set for me. I'm going to click on the visual setting, and I'm going to move Enscape to the right side to see better view of it. Now I can work much easier. In the Enscape 4.18, there's some new upgrades visually. For example, the icons, the font, you can see it works so smooth, and how should I say, it's more minimalist. So the changes is like that, and also better calculation in the denoising and ray tracing system. Okay, I'm going to start with the field of view. I'm going to reduce the field of view to some number like this. For example, 77. And also we have exposure in here. But before I set exposure, I want to go to the atmosphere and check the sun brightness. If I reduce the sun brightness to the 0, this is the render that we have. And also if I increase it, you can see what will goes on outside and inside. So I'm going to set it on the default. I'm going to click on the Enscape window, hold Shift and right click, and change the time of the day, something like this one. I need sun exactly in front of my camera. For example, 7 a.m. I'm going to hold Ctrl plus U or I. I'm going to play with it to see what will goes on. You can see, for example, this scene can be great for me. Exactly this angle. I'm going to hold Shift and right click again. Change the time of the day a little bit. Okay, I want exactly this one. I want sun flare. So now I'm gonna reduce the sun brightness like that. But before I do this work, I'm gonna click on the sky box in here and make my sky clear as much as I can, like this, to have a wonderful filtered sun in my position. And also, if you activate white cubes, you can see the HDRI can affect your sun, but generally it's fine. Okay, in the atmosphere, I'm going to reduce the sun brightness to some number like 10, for example. And also, night sky is not so important. I don't need very sharp shadows in my environment. And also, artificial light brightness right now is not so effective because we don't have too much spotlights or some other things like that. We just have one simple line light in here, and it's enough for my render. Okay, the fog option can be effective a little bit, but if you turn it off, it helps you for clear sound visual. In the image bar, I'm going to turn on the auto contrast, and also we have saturation and color temperature. If you want warm render, you can reduce it, and if you want cold render, you can increase it. For this render, I prefer to reduce it a little bit to the 6000 Kelvin. Enter. And saturation is about 102. I think it can be good. Motion blur is not so important, and two options, lens flare and bloom. Right now we're going to talk about both of them. So there's some flares in your render and also make it more cinematic, but you must be careful because sometimes render are realistic and sometimes they are cinematic, but if you oversaturate and exaggerate everything, the render will be destroyed. But generally, if you increase lens flare, you can see what will goes on in your render. Also, we don't have a clear visual to the bathroom design, and also this render only focuses on sun flares in here. So try to control it on some logical number. For example, 30% can be good. And also, if I increase the bloom, you can see what will goes on in our render. For example, we have some blurriness in our bathroom. So you can increase it in this type of renders. The vignette can be effective, but my render is dark enough, so I just want to put it on the 10%. Chromatic aberration is 0, and in the main bar, I'm going to increase the auto exposure to some number like 58%. I'm going to turn on the depth of field, turn off the autofocus, and use the focal point for focusing position of my camera. You can see the shiny line in the environment. If you set it on some number like 3.11 meter, what is the meaning of it? It means that the focusing point distance with your camera lens is 3.11. So you can increase it and move it to the bathroom, actually bathtub and showering area. So I'm gonna add 4.36 meter, and depth of field can be really effective in these type of renders. So I'm gonna add 14%. I guess in the Enscape 4.18 new update of Enscape, you can work more smooth with the depth of field and focal point because I feel it. So outline is not so important, and in the mod you don't need to change anything. You can use white render if you want to check the lights, but we don't have any artificial lights right now, and we don't need very, how should I say, complicated calculations. So again, I hold Shift and RMB to change the time of the day to see which one is really good. I think something like that can be really nice for my project. In the image bar, also I can reduce lens flare to the 20, but I'm gonna hold it in this render because it's educational, so it works as the tutorial for you. So I'm gonna make it a little bit funny. 28% can be enough. So everything is done. In the output, the resolution is on the full HD. I'm gonna increase it to the Ultra HD if I want. So how we can make this render a little bit more bright? So we're gonna work with the materials. I'm gonna open the Enscape material editor in here and click on the paint bucket in the SketchUp. Also in here, I'm gonna select this mirror frame, and I'm going to convert it to the self-illuminated texture. I'm going to go to the color setting. You can see all the icons and fonts and, how should I say, the visual design of the Enscape plugin totally changed in the new version. I'm gonna copy this color code, add it to the light color in here, which is blank. Control V, enter. I set it on the 3000 candela. Next material that I wanna change it to make my screen more bright is the flooring. I'm gonna click on the wood 05 brick bond, and also in the tint color, the white color was activated for me. I can reduce it, and you can see what will goes on right now. It helps us to have a more bright render. If you reduce it too much, also it look like white, but try to hold it on some logical number. For example, 74.6 can be good. In the intensity, I can reduce the intensity to the 74%. The roughness roughly can be some number about 32.6, or you can increase it and you can see what will goes on in here without any reflection. So try to hold it on some good number. For example, I think 64 is enough. The specular can be increased to the 74. Also, the next texture, which can be really help us, I think this type of tiling system. I'm going to select this tiles. And first of all, in the image fade, I'm going to reduce it a little bit to the 77 or some number like this. And the intensity can be 88. Okay. I think it's good. In the specular, you can increase it if you want. For example, 64 help us for the more reflection and the light answering to the environment. So I think everything is done in here. Also, I can change this wood texture in here as the final step, and everything will be over for me. So I'm gonna click on it, reduce the image fade 88%, not bad. And the roughness can be 66. This one can be 80. And I'm satisfied with this type of render. So there's only one problem. I feel that this marble stone is not so, how should I say? I think it's too much white for this render. So I'm going to click on this albedo texture in here. Again, I'm going to do it. You can click on the albedo texture and you can click on this PNG file. And also you can reduce the brightness a little bit. And now it matches with my environment more. I think 90% can be enough. And the in here, roughness can be 0, totally 0. So specular is about 74. And everything is fine. Okay, now time for the rendering. I'm gonna click on the screenshot in here, and I'm gonna select the desktop and Enscape 1. Okay, I'm gonna press save. It depends on your computer performance and hardware accessories. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If this tutorial really useful for you, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thanks for your follow, thanks for your valuable watching, and goodbye.